And then all of a sudden it's like, you're going live. You're going live. Oh, it's live. It's been live for 3 whole seconds. How come 50 million people aren't there yet? 3 seconds. That's right. Well, for those of you who will be watching this as a rewatch and actually get to see it from the beginning, I'd like to say hello, welcome. I am JT Bear. Got Shocks the Muse over there, and hello. This is the pepper in question today. This one is just kind of a bonus afterthought. So let me give you the description on this pepper before we get really started on it. The site that I found is the Hippy Seed Company. On your screen. The plant is described as a great plant and an awesome producer. The flavor is beautiful, sweet, and fruity. A chili anyone can handle heat-wise, and it would be great using with any dish. So yeah, whether or not I can actually handle that, that becomes the question. Hiya, Brian. How goes? Good to see you in the chat. Democracy Bear, welcome, welcome. You know what I must do here. Does it reset wrenches every time? Am I going to have to do this every time? Gosh, going to have to teach YouTube a lesson. But, so that is the description on Hippy Seed Company for this El Oro de Ecuador pepper. I got these seeds from the wonderful Dave S. in WV, grown at home. And he and I are both kind of in the same boat, having run out of effective seeds. So I'm really, really hoping that some of the ones I harvest this year will be good, viable seeds, and I can send them back where I got some from. That said, I did cut into a few of these earlier because I'm going to make an addition to this year's fire salt, but none of those seeds really impress me. And I'm hoping this one here is dark enough that the seeds will have just the right color. Evening, Dan. Now, there are a couple little black spots on this. I'm really not worried about those. And I have been trying to talk Shocks into half the pepper for quite a while, but it's just not happening. Oh, you want
no, not half. Little.
These seeds do look pretty nice, so I'm going to ask you to excuse me for a moment.
Do you want a different thing?
While I clean these up. No, these are all El Oro de Ecuador seeds.
Okay.
I have a plan here. Might not be a good one, but it's a plan all the same. So there we have the inside. It is, I'll say it's a medium-walled pepper. I'm pretty sure the site described it as a thick-walled pepper. Pretty decent seed production. Sorry, because I'm staring at my lap here, but unlike so many seeds that I don't really care if they end up in the keyboard and therefore the vacuum, I want to keep these ones. I want to know where they're at. So,
Wrench mob in the house, rubs there.
nice flavor or nice aroma coming up off of this.
Yeah. Smells juicy. I don't want the whole one.
No, that one's yours for sniffing and stuff.
Oh, I get this thing.
Wrench mob in the house. Everybody gets a wrench on my show, man.
Yeah, it smells juicy.
And it's a nice color, and it's a nice size. It's not too much of a commitment. So when I pop this back, at least I know I'm not getting into it too bad. I'm gonna have to work on lighting at my desk here for these live streams, but I kind of geared it so I could see the screen, not so the screen could see me. It's a very one-sided relationship I generally have with my computer. All right, do what you must. Shocks is going to surgically remove a portion of that pepper, which she will be prepared to consume, and I, on the other hand, will be popping this back. It does, I can see why they would call it like a fruity flavor, because it's got the fruity aroma.
Definitely has like that fruity-ish.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice and juicy. So
I don't want the oils all over my computer.
The ones that I skinned for seeds earlier, I have them in the freezer because I've kind of found if I freeze my chili peppers first, it makes it just a little bit easier to get salt juices out of them, get juices out of them for salts. however that should be arranged. Howdy, John. Could almost fit it on my nose if it got a little bigger. This is one of the larger ones that we grew this year. Really? That's what
This is what I'm doing. That little tiny piece right there. Don't do that.
Don't do what? Don't you? It's already too late for that. Well, here we go.
Cheers.
And
you're doing the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you're brave.
I'm doing the whole thing.
Oh yeah, this is really not that bad. It's tasty. It is very bright and explodes in your mouth because it's nice and juicy. No, there's a little spice heat coming in on the back end now. But I mean, it's like an extreme sweet pepper, I guess.
Yeah, there's spice there, but it's really on par with like what a fresh jalapeno would be, maybe a little bit more. I've got to like reconsider how I'm feeling. Labatt's no, I would at least have a real beer if I was going to have a beer, so that's out. But like my whole perception of chili heat is really off these days. Because like my tolerance is way down, so even a jalapeno would probably light me up a little bit. And this does. It gets the front of my tongue because I ate a good 2/3 of it. She calls it a half, but 2/3. And yeah, that's all I get though. Is it's a quick burn there on the tip of my tongue.
This would be awesome on nachos. Like it's a kind of accessory sort of that way. Pile it right on there.
I don't think it's fair for you to eat such a tiny portion of a smaller chunk and then tell me it's not a spicy pepper. I think you should eat the rest of that.
It wasn't spicy. I said it's good. It's hot, but it's good.
Oh, well, I thought you were taking the other kind of angle with that.
No.
My bad. Definitely would be good on nachos. I'm looking forward to it in a fire salt. Fire salts are like my favorite ever for popcorn. Really, I can't eat popcorn without it anymore. John Lord, Molson. Would have been back in the day when I drank beer. Would have been Molson. But yeah, I don't really drink beer anymore. There's a long story there.
That's too much.
It's too much. BD, any fruity flavor? Yeah, kind of in the beginning. As those juices, because it's a very juicy pepper, as those are kind of like exploding, they take with them a little bit of a fruitiness. I wouldn't call it a citrusy, but there is sort of a fruity. It's quite nice. You would think maybe some sort of a lemony from that yellow, but no.
Now my eye is watering.
Well, you might want more layers of napkin than that. It's not bad, though. I mean, it's a very good pepper. I'm glad it's a very productive pepper because we're going to have a lot of those. We're going to have a lot of those to dry and to salt and maybe even to sauce. Democracy Bear. Fire salt. Yes, I mix rock salt in a little food processor with the hot peppers and then put that on my popcorn or on my chicken or on damn near everything, and it's fantastic. Evil, sup? Welcome to the chat. Here's your wrench. Now remember, be good with that because other people will take care of you if you're not. Yeah, fire salt's fantastic. Well worth a try. Super easy to do. The waiting on it is probably the hardest part. And it beats the tar out of the blade in the food processor. But we've got a little tiny mini one we paid $10 for years ago. It still seems to work. You know what I forgot to do is take it from top chat to live chat, which is a big from Rev to me to you on that one. If you want to see everything going on in the chat stream, make sure you click it from top chat to live chat. Shows everything. Howdy, Paula. Well, you missed the El Oro de Ecuador Pepper, but there's still what I'm convinced is a garden salsa that Shocks may or may not join me with. Excuse me. This is about a jalapeno strength as well. Although for me, they're a little more productive in our Canadian season. I had this labeled as a super chili in the seed planters, but I don't think so. Super chilies are way closer to the size of that matchbox out front. So yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Rolls off my keyboard over there. Am I going to try and overwinter which plant? The El Oro? Because if that's the question, the answer is absolutely yes. I said early in the season that that's it. None of the plants that go outside are coming back inside. I'm tired of the aphids. I'm tired of it all, but I'm doing it anyway. There are. Let's see. There's the 2016 sand dollar plant that's got to come back in. I got a trunk on that thing like thicker than my thumb. I got to try to keep that alive. Then there's last year's El Oro that we just sampled here. And then there's a yellow scorpion that's only just started to put peppers on it, or pepper flowers on it, even though I planted that for last season too. So it's coming back in. Brandon, howdy, howdy. Let me just toss you a wrench here. So yeah, I'll be trying to overwinter them. Whether or not they'll survive, who knows? I brought in probably a dozen.
All of them.
I brought in at least a dozen peppers last year. We only really had 3 or 4 that survived through the winter. The aphids are horrible in my dungeon, but I may be over fertilizing, so we'll find out as that one goes.
And again, we have another plan for this year in progress.
Oh, MHP Gardner with the forest tomatoes and pepper trees. Yeah, he's got a nicer growing condition, like growing climate than I do there, John. It's nice though.
You can dodge a wrench,
Brian
you can dodge
Huff,
a ball.
when do you start getting frost and snow up here? We'll have frost in October, and I have gotten conditioned to expect our first snowfall, even if it doesn't stick. Our first snow will probably fall before the end of October. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I've had tomatoes already survive through that into November, though.
Yeah.
That turned out to be a bit of a surprise. I shouldn't have killed all the other ones in the patch that year, but I didn't know. I just got here. So yeah, okay. 10 seeds of that pepper, the El Oro, would cost me €1.99 here. Not available right now. Revtos, lol, snow. Yeah, well, lol, air conditioning.
Yeah, heat wave yesterday to looking for pants today.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a disappointment. It was almost 100 or over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here in the last couple of days, and for the last couple of days. And today I woke up just like, I need a blankie. I want to just cozy up on the couch.
We're having stew.
It's a stew day. See, there's a positive spin on everything.
Yes.
So yes.
Oh,
Paula, you bought an aphid killing spray. Let me know how that works out for you.
To 6?
To 6 what?
They're going down to 6 Celsius.
Ooh, that's not cool. Well, I mean, it's cool, but that's not good.
It's chill.
It's chill, man. That's chill. Do you want
Oh, just the tip.
Just the tip for shocks then, right? She gets that part. I get that part for a change.
Just a little slice off the end, please. This is the garden salsa?
This is the garden salsa. You've had this one before as well.
Before.
It's basically just a Japaglino. That's how you pronounce it, right, Reb? Japaglino? Something like that? Jalapeno?
Jalapenos.
This is a great one.
Oh.
For pickling, although I never seem to save any of these for pickling. There's some nice numbers on the plant this year, though. So
it's a very beautiful pepper.
Yeah. Go well with banana peppers or whatever.
Cheers.
I thought you just ate it, so I was trying to catch up. Truly, it's very mild, though. I wouldn't even call that a jalapeno.
No, but that is beautiful in the blend.
Nobody chews on seeds around here. That's future plants. Besides, seeds are just kind of better. There's a whole big two-sided argument there about the heat in seeds. And I tend to think the heat is in the precious essential oils and where they get concentrated.
I think it all works together to kick your butt.
Mine anyway. So that's really not bad. Paula, tonight I'm going to cover tomatoes and squash just in case it dips lower. Yeah, 39 degrees Celsius yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. Like 39 by 2 is just shy of 80, 78 plus 32. So that's like 110 degrees.
Paula, are you using sheets, like just bed sheets?
Yeah. What are you using to cover them? Like a plastic or a sheet or like a netting? I don't think I'm actually going to cover anything up out there, but I might if it gets to continue like this for a while. Toyed with throwing up that vapor barrier plastic as a temporary greenhouse. Buy a few more days out there for those peppers.
Just a tarp.
Oh, well, whatever works, eh? Cool. The seeds in the white part carry the majority of the heat. No heat in seeds. See, that's what I'm talking about. 2 comments in a row. There are 2 sides to that conversation.
Some seeds I find really bitter though. Like, and some they're hot, but I guess it's how much oil is inside the seed or on the seed or around the seed or.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's where the oil is concentrated, in my opinion, and therefore it's not necessarily relative to being in the seed or outside of the seed. With this particular pepper, you can see it's, it's juicy. There's a lot of flesh there. There's ample room for the oil. So I don't think these seeds aren't particularly going to carry a lot of oil. There's other places for them to be. Maybe with hotter peppers. I don't know, though, because I haven't really had a lot of success growing hotter peppers. So there's that. Do you want any more of this?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, we got thunder and lightning today. That's awful. You can't see that.
Can't see that at all.
Low down to 5, low down to 9, low down to 13. This is summertime. Hello.
See, I like these ones. These are just above a bell. There's a hint of heat in there. And even that's probably coming from the Oro de Ecuador that I had first, which even then is not a very hot pepper. But it'd be perfect for, like, you pickle that, throw that on your hot dogs or your smokies or on your backyard burgers or whatever. Pickled pepper rings on your chicken as it's cooking there.
Oh, that's delicious, yeah.
Laughing at John. Those who played with the ghost peppers had some beef jerky, Ghost in Carolinas. Oh my.
Drain the beer barrel.
Yeah, I'm not sure beer or whiskey or anything like that after is necessarily a good idea.
I add a little bit of milk.
Yeah,
and I don't do milk.
No, the milk I don't think is a good idea either. Actually, we were talking about this just earlier today. And you know what I think is probably a good idea?
Schnapps.
Besides schnapps. Yes, I have another option. I was thinking carrot juice.
Right.
Carrot juice is so thick and so sweet.
That would be good.
That, yeah, it will, at the very least, it'll taste good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll do the same thing that schnapps does, and the sweet will kill the heat. So.
You've got a schnapps.
Yes, schnapps for the win. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, until you put your hot peppers in there.
I did that to myself. Yeah. Putting hot peppers in peach schnapps makes for an incredibly interesting and kind of addictive experience. But your peach schnapps will never, ever be the same again. So just know that going in.
Democracy and
carrot schnapps. I don't know about carrot schnapps, but I was thinking about like a carrot mead. But it's a root, so I don't think it would be a mead. I don't know if it'd be a melomel or a methicillin.
Hi, Ukraine.
Bodan from Ukraine. Hey, welcome. You've been with us on previous streams, I think. Somebody's a bit of a night owl, I suspect, but thank you very much for joining us. Yes, anybody who's already got a wrench, it's a good sign you've already been here. Mark, here we go. You get a wrench. Welcome to the show, guy. Hey, where'd my chat go? I was just about to do. Says salty treat to kill the pain, but I haven't tested that theory yet. I'm not sure what quality of a friend that is. Just saying. Justin, I got a wrench for you. Jelly's hi from Idaho. Well, Howdy from Manitoba. Both good potato growing provinces. Everybody else can grow potatoes. I can't, but
I just like the milk for the coating in the mouth.
I worry about milk curdling.
Yeah,
I've had
well,
it
as soon
hit
as
the
it hits
stomach
like the
and
stomach,
it curdles and
you're
it's
like,
just like
bam.
boom. Yeah.
Not that we've had any experience or anything.
No, no. Salt only works followed by tequila.
Don't wreck the tequila with salt.
See, there's a whole big two-sided conversation there too that I just I'll just sit back, eat my hot peppers. You tequila people are worried out. Lemonade. Tequila and lemonade is pretty good. She speaks rightly there. Yeah, it's exactly it. It instantly curdles in your stomach there, and no, it's not worth it. Cheese, kind of, but not really.
Melts it.
Kind of melts it, yeah. No, the best way to go, I think, is just uber sweet because it seems to do it for me.
Oh, it's 1:30 in where John is right now, Ukraine.
David, how long do you guys get sunlight in the summer with your northern latitude? Do you think that affects the growing of the peppers? Sun comes up by around what, 7 these days?
Probably way before that.
So yeah, and it's up until at least 10. So we get some pretty long days. I think my problem with the ripening of peppers is that I don't get enough heat. Howdy, Charles. In those really long days, it's just not pumping enough actual temperature at my peppers to get the ripeness. Because I noticed over these last couple of days where we were hitting the high 30s that things are ripening up. And I noticed today where it's back to regular Canadian sort of chill summer temperatures that nothing has ripened.
We are below temp right now.
We are below temps. That's what we do in Canada, is we are below temps.
Normal temperatures.
Yeah, normal temps are for other countries. We don't do that. So yeah. Howdy, Charles. I think I said hello to you there. I'm pretty sure I tossed you a wrench. Good, good, good. So that covers these two peppers. I do recommend garden salsa for short season gardeners if you are interested in something that is very productive on the plant and in the pot. I'm going to try and get this without dumping them all over my keyboard. But hopefully you can see just kind of what kind of seed productivity is going on in there. And yeah, easy to keep from that kind of a collection and just keep on growing. Just don't label them as super chilies because you'll be in for a surprise when they pop up and they're like 3 times the size and nowhere near the numbers.
And they just keep growing.
And they just keep growing, yeah. It's putting out a good second push though, that garden salsa is. So very exciting, very exciting. John Lord, West Coast can send you more heat. Yeah, I weep for all you guys that are dealing with all of that fire smoke. We're getting just some of that passing through on its way to other places, and
yeah, the last few days have been really smoky.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, we had it from Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Justin said he looked up tomato end rot, by the way. It's just that in the comments.
Tomato end rot. Okay, Justin, can be treated. Dissolving calcium carbonate in water and spraying it on the plants might help your tomatoes. Calcium carbonate. Would that be the same stuff that's in Tums? Because someone was suggesting I dissolve a couple of Tums and water my plants with that. And I'm thinking that sounds like an easy access sort of way. Yeah.
Calcium carbonate. It's yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's already on the to-do list. It's just not done yet. So we'll have to give that one its check mark tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'd love to save so many of those big tomatoes because those bunker tomatoes, there's big, sexy fruit going on in there. But if they're all gonna get the blossom end rot, then grr, just grr. So I don't know, is Rev still with us? Because I think I saw Rob Z got his Bambi challenge today. And Charles, you guys did yours last night. So I guess Rev's the next group before us Canuckians have to do it. And mine still aren't even here in the mail yet, but I've been told to expect them in 3 to 7 years. So
I
we'll
guess we
see.
could have checked the mail.
We could have, but there's no way they'll be here yet. Yeah. Or fertilized with a higher calcium fertilizer. Well, Rev, right now I'm using rainwater, so anything would be higher calcium than that, wouldn't it? Oh, chemistry. I'm not ready for chemistry right now, John.
I got that. Thanks.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Alkaline, we just
Yeah, it's just like over the counter stuff and what it has in it.
Cool.
Wood ash liquid. We need to make wood ash anyway.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
For the mushrooms.
To bring the pH down.
Yeah. All right.
Beauty.
Very cool. Yet another fine example of just how helpful and informative y'all are with the comments in the chat. And my gardens would probably still be like this tall in general if it wasn't for all you guys helping me out. Might be tonight, says Revtos. I like to leave you hanging.
What might be tonight?
I'm guessing his version of the deer thing. But yes.
Dude.
Any news about shrooms? Well, actually, I was talking about making a mushroom video, not sure what channel to put it on, kind of wandering around the yard, looking at some of the ones that I'm going to blame the squirrels and say the squirrels have mostly planted up in the trees and there are some around the grounds. I'm not going to eat anything that's just kind of wildly growing because I'm not that comfortable with mushrooms in general, but I find it curious that they're already there, and I know from the squirrels and birds' reactions to at least one of them, I shouldn't eat these anyway because those guys get
loopy.
I've seen drunks that I would trust to make decisions more than the squirrels after that.
How they stay in the tree, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't sometimes. I swear half the time
know.
you think they're jumping from branch to branch, but they're actually just kind of free falling, trying to grab one on the way down.
You can see.
Yeah. I'll show you guys that.
It's hilarious.
You know what? Let's say that's going to go on the farm channel. It's permaculture. It's foraging for food because we're looking at wild mushrooms, even if we're not going to eat them. So yeah, that'll end up on my small farm channel. But there's some funky mushrooms out there. LJ, hello. Here is a wrench.
We have a ton of
squirrels tripping nuts. Yeah,
they're all named Sam.
They are all named Sam or Sammy or Samson or Samuel Squirrelson. Yeah,
Samantha.
It's pretty sad, and
There's
yet
Sam.
there are so many options out there, and there are so many squirrels out there. Most of them live in my shop. It's not cool. They're actually getting to a point where they're ripping down the black plastic. It was nice and fairly snug up against the roof when we first moved here, but successive generations of squirrel have just thumped it down more and more.
The other day, remember, we were outside and we hear this thud. We're like, what is that?
Yeah.
We look at each other. The dog's right there beside us. And in the little sunroom there, pre-shop, there's these two squirrels going diagonally in a circle, chasing each other around like those crazy people in motorcycles that run around in that the dome thing. They were doing that in the shop literally, and then you go to the door, it's like, get out of the shop, and you see them, they scatter.
One of them went further into the shop and then proceeded to get confused because I was in his space giving him crap, and then he climbed up on the top and he was all like chirping at me.
Hey, where'd your chat go?
Oh, it's brutal. Why does my chat keep disappearing? That's not cool. Leave out some Guinness for the deer and the squirrels. Guinness to marinate some deer. Okay.
We can't get that here.
Yeah, we can.
Guinness?
Yeah.
Where?
We have to get it from other places near here, but we can get it here. It's not that hard to get. Yeah. Howdy, Russ. I guess I missed you earlier in the chat there, but howdy. So there you go. Quick chat about some squirrels, a quick taste of a couple of peppers. Do I want the rest of this pepper?
Yeah.
This pepper here. Mm-hmm. For those of you just joining us, this is the end of the El Oro de Ecuador pepper, Dave's pepper.
Hey, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's juicy, not insane. It is hitting me in the back of the throat as I try and speak, so that never helps. But it's not insane. It's not too bad. You can tell when a pepper really, really hits me because I go from this kind of pale to this bright flush, and that's the moment the pepper is taking me too far.
The tunes are doing amazing. They're huge. They're all dry and feeding the birds, but they're like 12 feet tall out there.
Sorry, Dave. I guess I missed that one. Yeah, the Saskatoon berries out front were very productive. We got 4 kilograms.
I think so.
3 or 4 kilograms of Saskatoons off of there. They've been a good chunk of our weight so far in the book. Yeah.
Do you guys get choke cherries? Anybody?
Choke cherries. Yeah, that's one thing I was kind of wondering about too.
Like we have a crap ton of choke cherries around here.
I showed them in a recent video, or a video that's about to come out. That's why I don't do things forward. I get so confused. Anyway, they're these little tiny cherries that are almost entirely pit, but the skin is this beautiful, dark purpley. You know, it's full of antioxidants and good stuff. But I've never seen them anywhere else. Birds seem to, I wouldn't say they love them. The choke cherries last longer than the Saskatoons, for example.
Mark makes jam.
From the choke cherries? Okay, well, it's good to know. We'd have to strain that out, though, and it would take quite a while, I would think.
No, we've got jelly bags, but I don't know.
You've got a giant freezer bag full of choke cherries.
I do.
You?
I should just get them simmering and make
You really
syrup.
should do something with them, yeah. So, jam. I guess we'll try and make a syrup or a jam, and we can test them that way and see what we think. I'm not going to bother to transplant any inside the fence line because they're growing everywhere out here. So, they're a safe bet. No matter where we move, there will be choke cherries.
Or pit cherry, they're also called.
Pit cherries, that's
because the pit is so huge.
Yeah. It's choke cherries because you choke on the pit and the cherry. Not sure I want to feed those to chickens either, but that's a whole different thing. Polly, your Saskatoons were terrible this year. Chokes okay. Raspberries were amazing. 6 large pickings. Nice.
We're the opposite.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Our Saskatoons were amazing.
Yeah.
The chokes are good.
Yeah.
And our raspberries are like 4 little nubs on each berry.
That's amazing. That's the second year those raspberries have been there. And I found them in the wild, and they were totally free raspberries. Disregard what she said. Our raspberries were amazing. It's all in perspective.
We didn't get a large pick from them.
No, we got like
not amazing.
Hardly any weight, but we got some, and there's a whole bunch that are down there as seeds for more raspberries. So
they'll be fabulous.
Yeah. Permaculture, long-term gardening.
I know.
Oh, thinking of long-term though, our dinner plans tonight are going to take forever, so we should probably get going on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rev is coming up in a little while, not on for another couple hours though. Okay. So I have no idea who's up next. If there's anybody on in the meantime.
Hey, thanks, John. That's really good information.
Chokes are bitter until the very end. You need to mash and strain out the cyanide pits. Add in honey for good jam. Good for colds. So cyanide pits, I guess that would mean it's high in those B17s.
Like apricots.
One of those controversial seeds.
Something to look into.
Ooh,
Controversy.
Indeed. Excuse me. Yeah, elderberries are supposed to be good for colds too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up today and say thank you guys for joining me. It's always fun to see who makes it in for these live and random sort of quick chats, and it is always fun to find out just how far my pepper tolerance has fallen. So, yes. Garden salsa, I can still safely consume. No big deal. El Oro de Ecuador, I definitely noticed. If that scorpion ever produces, I'm a dead man.
Got it, John. Thank you.
Peach pits are good. Cherry pits not good. Okay. Good to know. All right. And I think that is where I'm wrapping it up. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a fantastic night, and hopefully I'll see y'all in the chat where Rev and the boys may deal with the Bambi challenge. The cat is still in the bag on that one, so we'll see. All right.